So here we are, we have our eyes drawn on, and we have our little piece of eye color. So what we're going to do is thread our large doll making needle, which should be easy, and we are going to go in the eye starting at the bottom. Now this may be slightly different than the tutorial because once again we're learning a few techniques that perhaps weren't always in the tutorial. So what we're going to be doing is going in through the bottom and out through the top. Well, not quite the top, but somewhere up there. And leave a small tail, just long enough that I like to put a little pin there and wrap it so that my tail doesn't accidentally pull out. So now when I pull on this, the tail kind of remains. So now at this point, we have a string coming out of our eye, and what we're gonna do is we are going to thread the other end of our eye thread onto a small embroidery needle. Hoping this is catching. Trying to make it so that it's easy to see without it being too close. So at this point, you're going to go to the top of the eye and dig in, catching a little bit of wool, come out the bottom. So that'll be step one. We're going to pull. We're going to repeat again, somewhere along the top, catching some wool in there, coming out the bottom, and pull, and then one more. Now you can see that as I'm doing this, I'm going to go in through the top. This time I'm going to come out the side of the eye. I'm not sure if that, hoping I didn't block that view. So what we've done here is we've made it more of an oval instead of the circle. And that's good because as we go across stitches this way, it's going to force it to become an oval the other way, which will actually end up having it as a circle. So now at this point, I'm on the inside corner of the eye, and I like to flip my head upside down, and I'm going to begin embroidering across, starting, oop, there we go, starting at one side and coming out the other. So you see, now I'm going to just embroider this eye, starting with the bottom. Now eyes are one of the most difficult parts, so just go slow. Like in the tutorial, how it shows, I go and do one half of the eye first, and then I'm going to go back and do the upper half. On the way back up, if there's any gaps in the eye from the lower half here, which you can see I've got a few gaps. You can see right here, there's a little gap here, so I'll place make sure I put a stitch there. So, once I hit the bottom, I'll sneakily go back up by going in through the bottom and coming out wherever I feel I could use an additional stitch. So I'm going to put an additional stitch here. And here. And then we'll continue working to the top. Now this time I'm not going to be working back down, so if I miss a stitch, I'm going to backtrack and come out below. And try and make sure I'm filling the eye in as best I can. Now if you find that your thread ended up being too short, that's okay. If you're worried, what you can do, if you're worried that you're taking more stitches than your thread's going to allow, you can run it back through the top, tie it off, and get a new string. Starting here, feed it through, rethread, and start over, finishing the rest. Sometimes I am too conservative on how much floss I should use, and I'll end up running too short and then screwing up my eye. So it's best to finish it, tie it off, and then start again on the upper half if you need more thread. So what I'm going to do is finish this upper half just like I'm doing right here. This video is getting a little long, and I know once I'm at the top, I'm just following that line I made. So once I'm at the top, I will begin filming again, and I will film how to do a little lash if you'd like an eyelash. This isn't in the tutorial, so it'll be in the very next video. So I will be back as soon as I finish this eye, and we will start the lash.